I'm currently in Waterside at Lakewood Ranch. Now, Waterside is one of the new communities of Lakewood Ranch, one of the many new communities. But today I want to give some insight on what's possible with Lakewood Ranch if you're thinking of new, resale, or foreclosures. We're seeing foreclosures increase everywhere, especially here in Lakewood Ranch, and there's a lot of opportunity opening up for buyers. And I also want to share what that means for sellers in especially Lakewood Ranch. Now, first off, let me introduce myself. My name is Troy Funk, and that's Funk, F-U-N-K, Fun K, and I have been in real estate sales, and I have been a resident of Sarasota for going on 4 decades now, and I've seen a lot of change to our area, especially Lakewood Ranch. Now, when I got in the business, there was no Lakewood Ranch, and Lakewood Ranch has become one of the fastest selling communities, not just in Sarasota, but in the entire nation, as we get a lot of attention. And Lakewood Ranch has a lot to offer as far as lifestyle and amenities, and I'll get more into that as I share more about Lakewood Ranch. But I want to really dive into opportunities, especially in foreclosures, and what's possible in Lakewood Ranch. Now, I'm currently on Main Street in downtown Lakewood Ranch, and this was created with an abundance of shops, restaurants. There's a movie theater here. But what's really fun about downtown is that there's a lot of activity that's going on all the time. There's a downtown farmers market. They have 5K races that happen from this area, and it kind of brings the whole area together as basically a fun little downtown. And that's a real magic with Lakewood Ranch, is that Lakewood Ranch is a lifestyle community. It's an area where you're not just buying a home, you're buying a lifestyle. And what does that embody around where you live? Now, what I've always thought was special about Lakewood Ranch is it's new. There's always new construction coming up. And there's a lot of new communities, especially right now, and the choices have gotten a lot better as well. So if you're looking for new construction, Lakewood Ranch has always been a contender on what's possible for new construction. Now, there's choices. There's choices if you want a condominium, if you're looking for a villa, or a small home, or a grand home. There's a lot of choices for lifestyle, as Lakewood Ranch is a lifestyle community and has a lot to offer in that regard. Now, outside of this downtown area, there's nature trails, there's walking trails, there's parks, there's a dog park. There's a lot of fun things to do, as you'll see runners and you'll see people working out and you'll see people really enjoying life in this community, because Lakewood Ranch is a lifestyle community. So there's a lot of choices for housing, for new and especially resale in Lakewood Ranch. But the big opportunity, as I said, coming up here is the foreclosures. I'm right now outside the gates of Polo Run, which is a community of Lakewood Ranch, and I want to show you a foreclosure. I want to show you what's possible and what's coming up in the market, as we're seeing foreclosures increase greatly in not just for Lakewood Ranch, but Sarasota, Florida in general, all over the place. Foreclosures are increasing. And what does that mean? Pandemic, a lot of good people got hurt financially. It put their jobs at pause, it put an income freeze on some, and people got behind, right? Well, with the result of that was there's been a big foreclosure moratorium that's been in place for a couple years now. Well, in Florida, that's off. So that means that banks can start foreclosing again, and a lot of people think that we don't have foreclosures because there's been so many of those mortgage modifications. They're not in foreclosure anymore. Well, speaking with a lot of sellers right now, and even though their property was in forbearance and they had a loan modification, doesn't mean they can still make the payments on their property. So as a result, those properties, even though they're not appearing to be foreclosures, the owners are in distress and they need to sell their homes. And the good news is those sellers have equity now, because the last 2 years have been certainly monumental with the increase of property value. So we have owners that are in distress, that have equity, that need to sell. And I want to show you this property in Polo Club. It's a really nice house, and this is a home that was built in 2018. The owner has kept this house in excellent condition, and it's a very nice home. It's 3 bedrooms, 3 baths. It's about 2,400 square feet. It's on a preserve, and it's here in Polo Run. Now, Polo Run is a nice community of Lakewood Ranch. It's a gated community. It has an amenity center with a pool, tennis court, one of the nicer communities, I think, in Lakewood Ranch. So this is a home, their mortgage is being foreclosed. So he needs to sell this house, and he needs to sell it quick. So this is a good opportunity for a buyer. And buy a nice house that's already built, they can move right in and they can get a really good value on this home right now because the owner is motivated to sell. The owner wants to negotiate, and probably negotiate more so than a builder does right now, and they can negotiate. He's in a position where he wants to sell this property. So this is a good opportunity on a pre-foreclosure here in Lakewood Ranch. Now, we have pre-foreclosures coming up all over the place. In fact, in just the last couple weeks, I've got several that just went on the market. One that I put on the market yesterday in Clearwater, one in Cape Coral, one in Sarasota. We have them all over the place, and they're coming in more frequently than ever. So if you're a buyer and you're looking for a really good value, I encourage you to look at the pre-foreclosure opportunities. Now, how do I get insight into some of these pre-foreclosures? Well, understand, back in '06, I owned at one point about 18 rental properties, and I was in pretty good shape until the market crashed. At that point, I was in trouble. Long story short, I learned a lot about foreclosure, short sales, and I've used that skill set to help hundreds of people since that point that are facing foreclosure and how to get out of foreclosure. What I'm doing with this seller is I'm going to stop their sale. I'm not an attorney, but I have resources to help that seller, even if they're in financial distress, to prolong the sale of that property until we can sell it. As such, I have created a separate website, and this gives an owner all their options that are facing foreclosure, how to get out of foreclosure. However, right now in this environment, what I'm seeing is a lot of owners that are facing foreclosure have a lot of equity in their property, and it's a good idea to get that equity out sooner than later. So foreclosure, now on a pre-foreclosure, sellers want to negotiate. They want to sell their home. They want to sell it quick. Now, some of these properties are in fantastic condition, like the one I'm showing you, and we have others that need a lot of work. Where you do the math, you say, okay, it needs a lot of work, I could put a little bit in, and I could walk into a lot of equity in this marketplace. What about new construction in Lakewood Ranch? Well, I have never seen the inventory as good as it is right now for a buyer. Builders are sitting on a lot of homes that they need to sell that they have built. Why is this? Well, the last couple months with the interest rates going up so fast, so quick, we've had a lot of buyers cancel their contract on the home that they're going to build, leaving the builder stuck with a property that they need to resell. And as such, builders are sitting on a lot of inventory. Now, every builder is different, and every builder has choices and options and such. And this is where it gets real critical when you're looking to buy new construction. Right now, more than ever, I think it's imperative that you have a real estate professional represent you in the purchase of a new construction. A lot of buyers think that they're going to get a much better value if they work directly with the builder. And that's not necessarily true, because the builder sets their marketing costs when they sell their property, and they have a cost of doing business. So they have a fee allocated in the sale of their property to pay for a real estate agent's commission. They don't typically adjust the price if a buyer buys it directly from them. So a buyer's not necessarily saving money working directly with the builder, but what a buyer's doing is they're putting themselves at a disadvantage if they don't work with an agent in a new construction, especially in a market where builders have a lot of inventory, and a buyer can potentially negotiate a really good opportunity on a new home. Now, are builders negotiating? Builders are offering incentives right now to sell their product, depending on the time period. So those incentives, in essence, are reductions. And in some cases, builders are offering opportunities to just bid on their property. Just give me an offer. In that case, again, it's imperative to have a real estate professional help you with that product. Now, there's a lot of inventory, and this may look scary right now, especially in Lakewood Ranch, when you're going down streets of homes that are being built, and a lot of those homes are not sold. What's the concern about buying one of those homes? Well, here's the issue. A lot of people are concerned with the real estate crash, and what does that mean? I created a separate video on the Florida real estate crash, on my perception, and sort of the cliff notes of that are every market's different. Every market's going to see changes. We are certainly seeing a lot of changes right now with the rates having gone up. We're seeing a lot of properties go on the market, more inventory. Obviously, the foreclosures are going to continue. And what does this mean overall as far as buying a house right now? Well, everyone's in a different life cycle. Some people are just looking to buy. They are looking for their forever home, and they want new, and they want a community like Lakewood Ranch, but they want a good value on it. And obviously this is a good time to buy when people need to sell and we're there. So how's our market? Well, here's the general flow. Florida is a destination location. We have had about 1,000 people a day move to Florida, and we have a lot of upward pressure of people continuing to move to Florida. When you move to Florida, you basically have two choices. You either buy or you rent. Now, rentals, the last year, they have gone up in some parts of Florida 30%. It's very scary to hang into a rental property and wait for the market to adjust. I know those that have done that years past got hurt because the rents went up, the property values went extremely high, and now a lot of people are concerned, what about property values going down? Well, my crystal ball is broken. I don't know where that's coming from. I do know, as I said, we have a lot of pressure from buyers coming in, and we have homes to sell. So it always feels like the time to buy is when people need to sell, and the time to sell is when people need to buy. Right now, we're in a time where there's a lot of inventory, a lot of opportunity, and if I can help you with any of that, certainly reach out to me. So again, in closing, my name is Troy Funk, F-U-N-K, Fun-K. I am a real estate broker here in the state of Florida. If you've liked my video, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope to see you on my next video.